And for those interested in recreating their own miniature version of The Mummy, we've got a little set of tiny canopic jars. There's my finger for scale. Where's Brendan Fraser when you need him?
Well, if you got a dollar, on just a lousy down, you know that I got rhythm that could suit your budget fine.
So, if you've been paying really close attention and been watching the videos I've been posting the last few days, you'll notice that I'm in the same clothes that I was in for the closing comments of the last 3 videos. That's because I'm doing this all the same day. So I'm on the road, heading back to Chicago, and I'm stopping in something that I hope will be a little bit different, an architectural artifact location. What's the name of it? I didn't even remember that. Architectural Artifacts, which I'm standing in front of. So we are in Toledo, and just makes a nice break for my drive along I-80. And hopefully I'll find some interesting and some cool stuff in here that'll be a little bit different than what I've been showing in the videos I've posted so far. So it'll be kind of shop with me, but I guarantee you I don't think I'll be taking a lot home with me because my car is not big enough to hold a fireplace mantle. But let's see what we can find. Okay, I want him. I can't afford him, nor would he fit in my car. There's a pair. Oh, look, there's a pair. $18,000. But you'd be the only one that has one. And just as a frame of reference, he's probably like 3.5, 4 feet tall. How cool. Well, this is gorgeous. Oh, look, Smalls. The desk, $5,200. Actually, that doesn't, I would have thought more. But once again, not gonna fit in my car. Oh, there's the other one.
Might as well get the
Okay, I hope they're just playing. Okay, I am only in the first room and I want basically everything I've seen. These are so cool. They're massive pottery, I guess, pedestals. I mean, they're pretty tall. Like, this is a chair and it's like regular table height. So I've never seen one this big. Thought maybe it was metal, and maybe it is metal. But, you know, look, it seems like it's pottery. It's definitely painted like it's pottery. And it's $885, which I think might be for the pair, in which case I might want to buy them. Probably won't, but damn, I'm tempted. Okay, I'm going to show you something else in a second, but I had to open this cabinet to get it. And just check out the front, just this huge bow-fronted cabinet door. Look at that glass. The whole cabinet's only $485. That glass to replace it would probably cost that much. But what I want to show is this was sitting in there, and I'm like, oh, what is that? Kind of a cool dragon piece, kind of elaborate. Like, first I didn't know if it was fabric because there's clothes and stuff around here. So I flipped it over. It's been turned into a brooch, and you can tell it was a plate. So they carved out an old dish, an old piece of ceramic. You can see the rim that it once sat on, and that's why it still has kind of this curvy shape to it. So it's pretty, it's actually not super heavy, but that's a really wimpy clasp to hold it on. So it would probably, you have to secure it to something because it would start to shift with the body weight. But I have never seen that done. I'm sure it was done on purpose, maybe after the dish broke, let's hope. And then they wrapped it with what looks like, you know, kind of looks like stained glass leading. You know, somehow solder something around to close off those edges. Wow, I've never seen anything like that. Okay, so these are bracelets. You know, cool. Nothing special, but that's not what I want to show. What the hell? What is that? And that. They're massive. They're like stomachers. I'm assuming they're brooches, or biggest pendant I've ever seen. Can't get into this case. I don't want to bother them just to ogle it, but wow. There's a little more along the lines of what I'd expected to see at an architectural artifact. All of these mid-century modern 20s, 30s bathroom fixtures. soap holders, toilet roll dispensers, towel rod, towel bar holders. And just see, look how many they've got. All the different colors, the pastels, some of Scott's green up in there. Faucet handles, hot and hot, it looks like. It looks like they don't have a cold. Oh, look, this is really dark green. I wonder what era that would have been from. Very cool display. I love 19th century door hardware, aesthetic movement, 1870s, 1880s. They just do not make hinges like this anymore. These are so beautiful. And I think he's real. Check out the old theatrical spotlights. I never considered hanging them like that. I mean, I don't know if you could wire those to become regular light fixtures and how much breadth of light they could spotlight straight down. It does look so cool hung up like that. Okay, so I'm just looking at all these super cool things in this cabinet, and I was wondering, I wonder if the cabinet's open. Check that out. I've never seen a cabinet with a lock like that. I'm afraid to touch it. I don't know if it's just for looks or it's actually locked. But what I really wanted to get a better look at, so I'm getting a glare, so we can do these down here maybe a little bit better. Look at those. They have to be put up on these pedestals because their tail comes down. So it's a true pair. One is not identical to the other. There's a huge definition in my world or in my mind about what makes a pair. So they definitely go together. So one would sweep on one side, one sweeps on the other, but I don't know what they're for. That one, those each have kind of a short piece that sticks out. But if you look at this pair here, you can see it goes a lot farther back. And you can see this one that's tipped over, there's holes there. So they must mount onto something, but I don't know what they would be mounting onto. So I actually might ask about those. Okay, I'm afraid I've entered practically memory lane. It's definitely a lane. It's kind of like memory lane because the minute I started seeing even the bathroom fixtures did not remind me of it because our house was built in the 60s growing up. But we had a lavender tub, a lavender toilet, and a lavender sink. It wasn't that color. So I think these are like the 30s. I feel like our tanks definitely weren't that big. But just, it looks like that's from a hairdresser. So, you know, have the neck in there to tip your head backwards and that. So I think that's like from a hair salon. All of these colors. But it looks like we're gonna turn the corner. Looks like they're not trying to salvage the 60s. They're only salvaging older, and I don't blame them at all. But this is a very weird memory lane. I don't see lavender. Wait, what's down at the end? No, that's more of a fuchsia. These might be getting close. But no, see, our sink didn't have the widespread faucet like that. This is like kind of more of a pink. I really thought I might find it, but no, I guess, yeah, I really wouldn't want to recreate my bathroom from the 70s either. But man, if you want color, here's where you go to find it. Damn. Okay, I'm gonna fail like every pop quiz I put in here for design school. What era are these lamps? They're really heavy. The plug, which always could have been a replacement, seems to be pretty old. What is this? Oh my god, I barely lifted to turn it. 30s? 40s? These are so cool. I don't think they really go with the base though. I'm sure they're original, but it's like a transitional piece. Like that seems more modern. That seems really traditional, but wow, never seen anything like that before. Okay, stuff on this table, super cool, beautiful, lovely, full stained glass. But look at this. I don't know if this is repurposed from something. The stand, it's super wide. I don't have my ruler on me, bad reseller. I don't have a way to measure this. But it's like perfect to hold this stained glass panel. I just don't know if it weren't holding the panel, I don't know what else it would have held. That's super cool. If only he were a trusty huckster. And to go with all those hinges, the doorknobs with the lock sets. Okay, I'm almost afraid to look how much. Oh, actually, you know what? Unless, well, that may be just for the lock set, but that's not that bad of a price. Look at I love all the angularity of the aesthetic movement. You get it geometric as well as the floral, that transition piece. Nature and science together. Or nature and technology, I guess. Compared to like the nouveau swirliness or swirliness, something like this.
Let me show you this in the back too.
You bet.
So this would be good for your channel. Do you have like a name for what? Oh, here it is.
Trusty Huckster Mercantile.
Okay. There. You can
Wow.
there, over there too.
Oh.
So I'll be picked that.
Excellent. So she has shown me into the work area. So I thought they had impressive hardware out there. So this appears to be the stuff they haven't restored or cleaned up yet. So you can see paint still on all of these. Check out the blue on that one. Oh my God, just look at all of the styles, all the eras. Some of these would just make cool, you know, put that onto in a shadow box. You would just have a really cool piece of art. Don't even need it as a doorknob. And there's all the lock sets. Some more, what's that? What are these? Oh. Waste. So these are like drain assemblies. Hinges. I don't know if this is typically open to the public or not. She was answering some questions that I'll put into the comments on the video, and she thought this would be fun to show. Wow. All this trim work. I don't know, is this metal? Yeah, this is cast metal. Tin. Wow. So cool. So maybe maybe I guess people can be brought back here, but or this is just how they sort them after they're cleaned up. Black P doorknobs. Remember those from my grandparents' house? Oh wow, I don't typically see it with the little swing escutcheon or the swing plate to block the lock hole. That's pretty cool. Interesting that there's two and it only blocks the bottom one. So cool.
Sure. Are you, where are you? Okay, so we should have it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah.
Need to build a staircase? Look no further. I've always pitched ephemera for decor, and they pretty much trumped that. Check out these old, they're pretty large. They're posters of some sort of advertising piece, in these absolutely massive, elaborate frames, and they're only $55. That's some statement. That's some decor. Okay, we're starting with details, but all I can say is wow.
I don't think there's any upstairs.
This thing is massive.
It's the house I grew up in.
Yep.
So
She's real.
we're coming back.
And that was my visit to Architectural Artifacts in Toledo. Really enjoyed the visit. Great conversation with Jane. You saw her, a little bit of her there when she was walking me through the back room. Just a really interesting, history of the building, history of their business. She just has an interesting history and just some of the great things that they have available. I will definitely be stopping in there the next time I pass through that area, because I have a feeling that the contents change all the time. And it was exactly what I thought it would be. It was something very different. I love going to antique stores as well, but this was some really unique items, some really high-end items, and things that you're just not going to see on a regular basis. And believe it or not, I got some things. So didn't have a ton of ephemera, but when I found a little pocket of ephemera, I'm like, ooh, wait, how much is this? So a couple things that I got, probably go into a mixed lot or something like that. Maybe something on one of the sales with Scott, or this might just be something I go ahead and put on eBay. I need to do a little bit of researching, but there's these group of, who issued them? Was it the Department of Agriculture? Yeah, so this one's the U.S. Department of Agriculture Farmers Bulletin number 471, Great Propagation. I actually thought the artwork on that one looked pretty cool. But then they also had these from 1951, How to Grow Bush Fruits. All right, well, I live in a townhouse, so I ain't growing any bush fruit, and certainly not growing any tree fruit. So these are things I'm not keeping. But there was some interesting history there. The 1952 spraying calendar, everyone needs that. But again, as an architectural record, this one was the Agricultural Extension Service of The Ohio State University, producing quality milk. And some great illustrations there, or photograph on the front. This one was from 1938. So this one's getting a little bit older. Some illustrations and photographs in the middle. So again, just some cool documentation. But the biggest thing that I found that I was super excited by was this pretty nondescript book. Kind of look at it. Even in the store, I wasn't 100% sure what it said. But when you open it up, it actually had a date on there. At first, I thought it said 1810. I think it says 1878. And what it is, it's a classroom book for the Methodist Episcopal Church. I'm assuming for their Sunday school. And it was a listing of students. So we have class leaders, Daniel Ware at A Prairie, Robert Minsky. These are from 1874 and 5, the year 1874 and 5. So they list the stewards, D.M. Hilliard, John Jones. So it doesn't appear to actually be giving grades. Okay, well, just jumped into this little interesting section here that I hadn't noticed before. There's a little section called Remarks. Don't think anything special of there. But I guess these aren't students, because one of them is dated 1878, number 25, Relation to Life S. So this is what it's doing. So I'm not exactly sure. But one of them is Lyra Carver or Courser. Remark, dead. We're going to assume that's not a student. So we have dead, we have married, we have probationer, we have Highland Park, removed, probation, dead. Okay, wait a minute. This one says dead, and then underneath it says probably old standing. I'm sorry, so you're saying he's been dead for quite some time? So that's from 1878. We need the next page. We've got more dead. We've got more dead. We've got married. We've got another probationer. What was that saying? Reviewed, maybe. I wasn't sure if it said renewed, removed. Some of this stuff falls really interesting things in genealogy because these are Henry Tuttle, and then right underneath is Maria Tuttle, both dead, by the way. So you got some interesting. So if you are researching the Tuttles in 1978 and you're somehow related to this church, let's see if it gives any more information of where this church was located. The stewards. District stewards, recording steward, North Prairie. So there might be stuff in here, like there's just some great cool old handwriting, but there's probably stuff in here to actually kind of make connections to how family members live together. You know, you've got extended family, corrected by C.W. Thornton in September of 1878. Maybe he's the one that went through and said everyone's dead. I just kind of thought this was cool. And she had a really good price on it because, you know, as an architectural artifacts place, books were not something, or ephemera was not something you were focusing on. They actually had a great collection of books for research books. So like all of those manufacturers of all of the toilets and the plumbing equipment, she had all the books on all the manufacturers, so you could find part numbers and know about how all these things were assembled. I mean, that's like super valuable. That stuff was not for sale, but she had a super impressive collection of that. So things like this, she's like, so we made a good price. I made a little pile and I made a good price for it. So again, picked these things up. Not really sure there's gonna be huge money to be made with them. I was offer them somewhere along the line so you can watch for them. It was really more of a thing. This happens every once in a while. I loved being there. I loved talking to Jane. I loved experiencing their store and like hearing the stories where all the stuff came from, the history of their business, everything. I wanted to buy something and I just really wasn't in the market for a toilet. So I was super excited to find these items and, support the business in some small way. And then hopefully in a bigger way, being able to make this video. So if you are ever in the Toledo area, make sure you stop by Architectural Artifacts. Make sure you tell them that tell Jane that Trusty Huckster Mercantile sent you, and see it for yourself. Hopefully the video gave you a taste of what you have on offer, or what they have on offer, and maybe what you can pick up. And it's one of those cases I definitely want to go back because I have a feeling that's going to change all the time. So I want to see what they have the next time I go. So thanks so much for watching the video. Thank you for putting your trust in Trusty Huckster, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.
Give me a good deal on something I can use. Make me an offer that I just can't refuse. When that sunrise in the morning and there's nothing there to do, will probably be the last time I see you.